As far as treatment strategies, can you walk us through your first line therapy, either for a patient who is needing to be decoppered or someone who is in their maintenance phase of disease? What your decision pathway looks like?
Let's also go back 15 or 20 years when really D-penicillamine was the first line therapy. I belonged to the Wilson Disease Association, and the person at that time who was the head said nobody should ever be on penicillamine. It's so toxic, so many side effects. Everybody should be on trientine. So I went over the literature, and I have to say I agreed with the Wilson Disease Association that D-penicillamine is way too risky. We're talking about now in this trientine phase, not that you're going to cure a patient, but it's, in my opinion, much safer. And that was my experience. So treating, close to 100 patients with trientine, very few side effects with it. Challenges with decoppering, some challenges with dosing. Get to the higher dose, you might have some GI issues. But I've only had one patient with renal issues from trientine, only one patient with arthritic problems, nobody with bone marrow issues. So I'd say GI intolerance has probably been the major issue, but even, it's not major, it's minor.
Sure. So even for decoppering, trientine would be your first choice?
100%.
Okay.
I do not write any patients for D-penicillamine. I did see somebody 6 or 8 months ago who was referred to me, stable on D-penicillamine, no side effects, no complications, decoppered. So then I have to go through a different thought process. Do I rock the boat in that person? But I haven't seen a D-penicillamine patient except that one person in the last 5 years.
Wow. Yeah, and we hear the same just from clinicians that if a patient is on penicillamine and prefers to stay, then they'll continue therapy, but otherwise it doesn't seem to be a treatment of choice for most of our US-based physicians. And that was another of the questions that I have for you was, does the indication matter? Because truly, D-penicillamine is the only FDA-approved therapy for decoppering based on its FDA indication. So I didn't know if that played into decision or affected your therapy choice at all.
Across all liver disease, of course, I listen to FDA label, FDA approval.
Sure.
But there's many limits to the FDA because to get a new drug through the FDA can cost hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
And for rare disease, it can become a challenge at that point from finance perspective, just a lot of operational issues. So I look at what's best for the patient, what does the literature support, and hopefully that aligns with the FDA, but it doesn't. I'm going to go back to literature and really balance benefit and risk.